Hi, this is Kirk, the bariatric carnivore. Well, woke culture is sticking its ugly nose in the medicine and trying to interfere with Australians' ability to have really good, important conversations with their general practitioner. So let me try to explain this one to you. But before I do that, do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe button and become part of this channel. Look, frankly, I cannot grow this channel and I cannot reach out to more people unless more people hit like and subscribe. It is the best thing you can do to help get this message out to more people. Frankly, there's never going to be a push from government, big pharma, the medical profession, any of the major institutions that are influencing health. They're never going to come out in favor of low carb and keto. Why? There's no money in it. I mean, our broken, dysfunctional, psychopathic system is not going to be pushing for you to get healthy. It is truly, the low carb movement is truly a grassroots movement. It is one person helping another and utilizing things like social media and taking the testimonials of people and studies and influencing each other. And that's what makes it powerful. But there's another movement afoot, and that is this other types of influencers. And there's people like Taryn Brumfelt, Australian of the Year, who is pushing a thing called body positivity. And this is the type of stuff that I really get nervous about because she's part of that woke cancel culture. And the way they influence people is by shaming doctors who try to tell patients, look, you're overweight and it's bad for your health. And that's what she's doing. That is her cause, is to tell general practitioners, quit talking about weight and quit talking about exercise and that type of stuff when you're meeting with the people. Now, at one level, she has a point for the wrong reasons, but she does have a point. She says that, doctors are not equipped and they can't create sustaining change. And that's true. Look, in the average consultant, your annual physical, you're not going to be able to create long-term sustainable change just by talking to somebody about these issues. But you can make them aware of it and let them know that people are looking and, frankly, that it's important. When you shame doctors and do not even mentioning the fact that their patients are morbidly obese, you got a problem. And that creates health issues. You have a greater, it increases your chance of dying early if you're overweight or obese by about 108%. Okay, that's significant. And that is part of your health. And if they keep shaming doctors into not talking about it, frankly, Houston, we got a problem. Because look, do you realize how much type 2 diabetes costs the U.S. medical system each year? Nearly $1 trillion. That's how much it costs to treat type 2 diabetics. Because look, it's not just the insulin cost. Their overall health starts to decline. They are more likely to have heart attacks. The number one thing that says that you're probably likely to have a heart attack is being a type 2 diabetic. The number one warning sign that this is going to be a problem is you die. They're the ones who lose their toes and their sight time and time again. So it's a serious issue and it ties to their weight. She also has another good point, which is weight isn't everything. And I agree with her on that one. Of all the health things, when you go to your doctor and they check your blood pressure and all this other stuff, the least important thing that they're going to mention to you is probably your actual weight. How much effect is gravity having on you at this particular moment? Because that fluctuates rapidly. But they ought to be able to take a look at you and say, look, you're overweight or obese. And and that creates health problems. And if they, yes, they are not going to create lasting health changes, but they might be able to help influence somebody. Keep in mind my particular circumstances. I mean, when I went to my eye doc and she told me that, hey, you're going to lose your eyesight. I'm going to have to start sticking needles in your eyes every day because you've got macular degeneration and it's the wet type and that's going to be very dangerous for you. That got my attention. I knew that, and the only thing she told me to do was to lose weight. That was her sole advice. Okay. Frankly, that part was a problem. That's what got me into bariatric surgery. It did nothing for my metabolic health, but at least it was a start. I mean, it started getting me in the right direction a little bit. So I had that discussion. But if this woke influencer had her way where she couldn't even mention the fact that I was fat and I needed to lose weight in order to keep my sight, I wouldn't have moved at all. I would have just gotten the shots thinking there was absolutely nothing I could do about it, that I was stuck with this. And that's not true. So sometimes doctors can have influence and begin to change people's health, but not if we let the fat influencers. One of my favorites is Jamie Lopez. This lady ran around telling everybody, yes, I'm fat and I'm positive and I'm beautiful and I'm healthy. You may have noticed I used the past tense when I mentioned her, because she died at 37. That's where we're heading. Where everybody thinks they're all happy and healthy and fat, but they're really not, and they're dying early. And it's a shame that nobody told Miss Lopez, no, you're not healthy, you're obese. And that was pretty obvious. If anybody could have looked at her and said she was obese. And why do I say weight's not a great indicator, or BMI, body mass index, is not a great indicator? Well, because look, you can look at Arnold Schwarzenegger at his prime when he was competing as a Mr. Olympia. If you went by strictly the BMI charts, if the doctor didn't look up from his computer, he would have looked at this little flashing light on his computer saying, Arnold, you're obese, which would have been laughable. But that's an outlier. I mean, that's, unless you were competing at high levels of bodybuilding, yeah, you may be obese according to your BMI, but they're not obese. They have no body fat. And that's not necessarily healthy either. I mean, and frankly, she also has another point that, we gotta make sure that we don't say that the only way you can look good is to be pencil thin. Because look, it is possible to be tofu, thin on the outside, fat on the inside, because you're not metabolically healthy. If you have fat wrapped around your body organs, and you have muscle, fat tissues inside, where you look thin, you don't look obese, but you can be very fat because you're metabolically unhealthy. And until doctors start talking about this type of stuff with their patients, you're going to end up like Australia, where 2/3 of the country is overweight or obese, 18% are morbidly obese. And the problem is only getting worse. And like I said, in the United States, it costs us $1 trillion to treat this stuff. That's how much is going out of our medical system. And look, big pharma, big medicine, they're getting rich off this stuff. You're just not getting healthy, because we've got a psychopathic system that is not working for your long-term health. And that's what this grassroots movement that we call the low-carb community is all about. I mean, I push carnivore, I eat carnivore, keto, low-carb, paleo, I don't care what you call it. Just get the processed junk food out of your diet. And frankly, about 80% of your health problems are going to go away. If you get rid of vegetable oils, grains, sugar, and you just eat real single ingredient foods, you're going to get healthier. I can guarantee it. So, but I'm just one voice in a larger grassroots army that is trying to help people to get healthier. So please hit the like and subscribe button. And like I said, I'm Kirk, the Bariatric Carnivore. I try to put out a new message every single workday. I will talk to you soon.